is on now. The savings are spectacular. The Shoe Pavilion February clearance. Hurry.
iPod, UPod, these little gadgets are everywhere, far outpacing every other portable music and video player ever made. But now there may be a storm brewing on iPod's horizon. A federal lawsuit alleging that the mini music machines may be making people deaf. And the mere threat that iPod may be forced to cut the volume has some consumers, including a young journalist named Tom Rowles, rallying to protect the freedom to rock your own ears. Tom got concerned when he heard that a federal lawsuit's been filed against his beloved apparatus, one that threatens to cripple the way he and 42 million other happy owners hear their music. In a nutshell, the suit alleges that the iPods are, quote, inherently defective and not sufficiently adorned with adequate warnings regarding the likelihood of hearing loss, end quote. So Tom decided to investigate the issue of how dangerous these popular portable devices can be.
How liable is a product manufacturer for disclosing risks?
Well, it's a great liability they have, at least to disclose, if not prevent, the harm.
Attorney Paul Headland is a products liability expert, though not involved in the federal lawsuit. He says these cases always touch a nerve because they affect the youngest consumers.
They don't have to subject the children to sound levels that cause permanent damage, but they apparently choose to do it.
The miniature digital music devices known as Mp3 players were first introduced in 1998. Apple's first crop of iPods arrived in 2001 and rapidly rocketed to the top, quickly grabbing almost 3/4 of the market. But Apple's gotten bruised on its way to worldwide domination. In 2002, the French forced Apple to surrender in the battle of the ears.
Here in France, the legislator actually passed a law saying you cannot sell any portable devices that exceed the volume of 100 decibels. Well, iPods do, so they pulled them right from the shelves until Apple came up with a patch to make sure they didn't exceed 100 decibels.
But that didn't stop the little portable players with the earbuds from blossoming. Apple sold 14 million iPods last quarter alone, helping push the company to profits so high they were music to shareholders' ears. Meanwhile, others worried that sales volume was drowning out the issue of playback volume. Tom had Dr. Sal Mozgar, a doctor of audiology, perform tests on the iPod at different volumes. The doctor found that at 75% volume, a listener was still within the safe range, but with the volume cranked up.
If enough people are listening to this at high levels that we kind of measured in here, it is very likely that we may see an epidemic of hearing loss and tinnitus in our culture.
Keeping in mind that it only takes 28 seconds of listening to an iPod at 115 decibels to cause hearing damage, you have to wonder about our love of the loud. Right now, the control in volume control is up to us. Should we make it Apple's responsibility to turn it down with a safety patch? Tom asked some fellow listeners.
Yeah, I would download that patch if it would make my MP3 player safe.
I don't think I would do that because I know that I can handle the loudness of it and I don't listen to it loud. Yeah, I think they should come with a warning.
Apple has not responded to calls for comments, but to be fair, there is a warning which cautions permanent hearing loss may occur if earphones are used at high volume. And the lawsuit filed by that Louisiana man against Apple is bound to spark a long and loud debate.
The problem is that the manufacturers are free to do whatever they want to compete in the marketplace.
According to Attorney Headland, even if an iPod user claims hearing loss, how can he prove that it happened because of the iPod, since the problem builds up over time?
The trouble is that the damages are less visible and less identifiable when it comes to hearing loss. If you're scalded by a cup of coffee, you can see exactly where it happened. You can attribute it only to the cup of coffee landing in that spot.
Joining me now at home base, Fox News business correspondent Dagan McDowell.